Shalom, everybody. Good day to all. All right, just here to want to talk to you all about the V sound in ancient Hebrew. All the time people are saying there's no V sound in ancient Hebrew, meaning the V. There actually was no V in ancient Hebrew. We know that for sure. There's, the Aleph Beit. You have to understand the Hebrew Aleph Beit, and from Aleph to Tav. And so what is the ancient V sound, that people are really confused about is that a lot of times it's in response to the letter Vav, which there's a lot of people that are very firm that it's only Wa or Wow more correctly. And this is based on things they've read and theories of men. And, looking at this very deeply, and I've just put up a video a few weeks ago called Wow, It's a Vav. And then Nehemiah Gordon put out a great study about the ancient Vav sound going all the way back to the Tanakh. We find it in the book of Ezekiel and other places, and things going way back before the year 1000. Basically, around the year 1000, during the time when Arabic was very, a lot of Jews were scattered amongst in the Arabic nations and Arabic-speaking nations. Some of them began to pronounce the Wow, which is an Arabic letter. And there is a debate going, well, how far back did the Wow go? And the Vav, was it pronounced Vav? Which I believe that Nehemiah Gordon brought out very clearly. And I'll show you in later videos on this, how the Vav is actually a V sound. But it doesn't rule out that there wasn't some people that said it as a W sound. Now but we do find that when this began to happen, and we really see it in Jewish literature and stuff, is about the year 1000, when there was a great Arabic speaking going on. And so it's very possible that the Wow, even though it is ancient, going back 1,000 years, really came from there. There's a lot of theories, there's a lot of things, but I'm not really interested in theories. And even though I will listen to them and consider them, I want to know what we can prove. So the thing is that one thing we can easily prove is that there was a V sound, a V sound in ancient Hebrew. And I just want to, and we don't even have to even talk about the letter Vav. We have this letter, the second letter in the Aleph Beit. So we have Aleph and we have Beit. Okay, and sometimes if you can see here, it says Beit, and then this Beit here has no dot. It has a dot here, the gesh, which means it's a hard B sound, ba, as it says here, as in boy. And then when the Beit does not have a dot or the gesh, it is a V sound, as in vine, V as in vine. So sometimes with the dagesh there or the not dagesh there, it could be a B or V sound. So this is why it is Shavua Tov. Shavua has the Veit sound. You also have the verb Shavat, which is where we get the noun Shabbat. It is spelled the same, but the Shavat is with the V sound, and the Shabbat noun, the day of Shabbat, Yom Shabbat is with the B sound that has the gesh. Now, when the gesh was added in, we don't know, but what was it added in for? Actually, there is theories, going back to around the Second Temple time, and it came up out of that time period when they started adding the gesh. I'm not an expert on all these things, but I have studied into it a lot, and ultimately, what these vowel points and dageshes and all these dots and all these things that began to be added into the Hebrew language was to preserve the real pronunciation. In the ancient world, people knew how to pronounce these words in the different context in the sentence. So the vet or the veit or the bet or the vet, or how this is all pronounced, would be understood by the Hebrew-speaking people. It's still understood by the Hebrew-speaking people, and they use this interchangeably. And so this is not even any confusing. So it's not confusing at all, really. And so there is a V sound in ancient Hebrew, regardless how you think the Vav or the Wa was originally pronounced. And that's a whole nother debate, but let's just get it straight. There is a V sound in ancient Hebrew. All right. Now, this is a popular book. People are very interested in Paleo Hebrew, and Jeff Benner did a really good job here in this book. And he has his theories, and he's done a lot of good research. And, personally, though I do like to look at the ancient pictograph Hebrew, which we find here, you'll see some of these these ancient pictographs and stuff. And the ancient letters obviously weren't the block Hebrew, which this is, you know, original Hebrew looked more like this. And language is alive, and there's a lot of things we can talk about how language progresses through time. But even where it says here, for his understanding of Beit, and he looks really deep into the ancient Hebrew alphabet, language, and thought. Okay, and so he even says here that you know, the Beit is where we even get the word house, and the ancient shape has to do with house, and the word for house is Beit. And so the original name of this letter is Bet. The parent root of the child root Beit, meaning house. It is equivalent to the Greek name Beta and an Arabic Beit. This letter, or Beit, I'm not sure, B-E-Y-T, he says Arabic. This letter is pronounced as a, quote, B sound when sounded as a stop, such as in the word Beit, or as a V sound when as a spirant, as in the word Shuv. So even he, through his studies, trying to restore the ancient pronunciations of the Hebrew alphabet, going way back into Paleo-Hebrew, what he's found is that there was a B sound and a V sound for this letter before the Dagesh and before the block letter Hebrew. That's the modern script that goes back to, you know, after the Babylonian exile, they began to adopt the block script, and that's a whole nother study. But brothers and sisters, this is incredible to think about. So just wanted to talk real, just kind of set this, want to talk real with you, want to set this straight. And you know, there's an idea that people have that aren't Hebrew speakers, but they're very, very zealous to understand the truth. And I really commend all you brothers and sisters that are into the Hebrew, trying to understand and pronounce Hebrew words and to bring this into your life. And this is a beautiful thing for us all to do and learn these things. But let's learn them correctly. Let's not follow the traditions of men. People that are non-Hebrew speaking people creating their own theories about Hebrew that they're not even based in any realness, and new ways to pronounce words that are incorrect. Like instead of saying Israel, they say Yasharal based on, I mean, this is ridiculous stuff out there. And we have to get rid of it. Instead of saying Moshe, they're saying like Musa or Musa. Musa is Arabic, and it's not Hebrew. So there's people trying to make, they won't even say Yehoshua. They have to say, there's people that have actually messed up the name of the Messiah so far that they say Yahusha. I mean, there's some ridiculous theories out there. And, you know, I'll go into more detail explaining why they're ridiculous later, but just basically just wanted to put that out there. Let's deal with reality. Let's deal with Hebrew is still a spoken language today. And though it has changed over the years, the biblical Hebrew, ancient Hebrew, there's people that are experts in it. If you really want to be an expert in it, I suggest you go study with the experts in it. And then you'll know. Don't just watch YouTube videos and people that have made up their own form of Hebrew that can't even understand. They couldn't even sit there and read the Torah scroll in the synagogue. They don't have no idea how to read Hebrew, and then they're trying to teach people how to read Hebrew. It's not really smart. From my opinion, it's not scholarly. So if you want the truth will set you free, and let's search and study for it. And I hope this clears up this idea that there was actually a V sound in ancient Hebrew, even if you think it wasn't a Vav, the sixth letter of the alphabet. It's clear across the board to all people that the original Bet, the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, could have been pronounced also and was pronounced also sometimes as a vet or a v sound. So shalom, everybody. Until next time, post your comments and questions below. Come visit us at israelofpromise.org. Free Bible studies. We just put up one, Matthew 24, verse 15. What is this abomination of desolation? Come check it out. The Messiah gives a great teaching on it, and we look at the Hebrew Shem Tov text, and we go deep into the book of Daniel. So, come check it out. Shalom to everyone.